It's December 28th, 2023. Boy, did this year breeze by. Hope everybody had a great Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. I hope it was great. I hope you got to spend time with your loved ones. I'm just chilling out tonight, playing a couple things. I was playing with a Vox SSC guitar earlier, which is such a groovy, cool, inexpensive guitar. And I actually, I know I have it, but it sits up here on the wall behind two acoustic guitars, so it's not really visible. And sometimes I forget that I should get it out and play it. So I got it out, I played a bunch of stuff, really enjoyed it. And then I thought, well, what's the opposite of black? And I don't really have a white guitar. Isn't that weird? I don't have a white guitar. I don't have a white guitar. I have some natural looking guitars. I've got gold, baby blue, but no white. So the closest to white, I guess, would be yellow. So I grabbed this Paul Reed Smith Santana model guitar. Isn't this pretty? And I thought I would noodle around on it a little bit. So let's just get to it. For end of the year bluesy stuff. Yeah, I like this. I love that. Oh my God, I love this guitar.
Look at this guitar
Hey.
now. What you're looking at is the key that unlocks the guitar neck.
Too loud, too loud. Love this guitar. It's just got some vibe to it, and it's funny because when you first play the Santana, you want to do things like Carlos Santana does, which is that really kind of smooth, kind of, that's not like Santana. That's just like a scale that he uses a lot. But then you turn this, you unleash this thing on some blues, and it just has a certain vibe to it. And I think it's partly because it's not a Les Paul, it's not a Strat, certainly not a Telecaster. It's just got its own sound, its own vibe, and you know, the folks up in Stevensville, Maryland, make incredible guitars. I mean, say what you will about Paul Reed Smith. I mean, the man is an acoustic genius. He's an engineer. He thinks like an engineer. He builds beautiful instruments that play really well. And you don't see a lot of beat up PRSs because people who buy PRSs tend to take very good care of them. Even PRSs from the early days of the PRS factory, they tend to still be in pretty good shape. And the later models, because of the craftsmanship of the men and women in that factory, because of the amazing varnish that they have come up with, which is different than a traditional nitrocellulose type varnish that Gibson and other companies have used, it just holds up really well. And the necks are comfortable to play because the head stock angle is, you know, it's not like, I think Les Paul's about 12 degrees or more. This looks more like maybe 9-10 degrees. It's not straight like a Telecaster or Strat. It's got this nice angle, and because of the angle you get a little bit more sustain, but it also stays in tune better than a Gibson Les Paul. And the guitars can be used for jazz, for rock, for blues, country, you name it. I mean, they're just incredibly well-made instruments. The Santana itself is, this is a guitar that I've wanted to have in the collection since early days. I mean, even back when I was in college, I was listening to Carlos Santana, and I can remember sitting in the basement of the dorm that I lived my junior year. And I was really close with a couple guys from, let's see, Mark, I think, was maybe from Singapore or Indonesia. Raj and Super Critique from India. One of the guys from Pakistan. Anyways, we would sit and listen to Moonflower over and over and over again. And it was like, who is this Carlos Santana guy? I mean, he's just so full of melody and beautiful guitar playing. And throughout the years, it's been fun to watch Carlos move from the early guitars, which he had, which I might get this wrong. I think back when I was in college, he was playing a Yamaha guitar or something. It wasn't PRS. And then when he went to PRS and they made the Santana model, which has a different headstock than most PRSs. In fact, I love this headstock. Most PRSs have a kind of a half crescent like a moon. This one's kind of got this kind of a booky feel, but it's shorter. It's not like the Les Paul, which comes out in points and real hard edges. This is kind of a nice, smooth, groovy looking symmetrical headstock. The body shape itself, you know, very reminiscent of Les Paul. I think, I'm not sure, I believe this side is a little lower than the typical double cut PRSs. It's got this beautiful inlay of mother of pearl here. I don't know why Carlos came up with that design, but you know, some people would have just put two inlays and mimicked it all the way down. On the Santana, it's two and then into one. The pickups sound great. Everything about this guitar is just, you know, high quality, great mahogany. I love this mahogany back. These dark streaks that come up through here are very cool. It's got kind of a whole wispiness going on, which is kind of neat. And you get all the birds, including the top bird, which is a little owl. But all these bird inlays, beautiful mother of pearl, just incredible. And my favorite is probably the little hummingbird there, probably because I just have hummingbirds around my house that come like right up to me. And oh man, yeah, it's such a cool guitar. The neck, I don't really know what they call this neck, but for me, it's the most comfortable neck on PRS instruments. Yeah, it's just groovy. Anyways, I'm going to ramble on and on here. So hope you guys have a great New Year's and have a safe New Year's more than anything. And looking forward to 2024 and what it's going to bring our world, our country. And I hope we can work on getting closer together as a civilization instead of continuing to spread ourselves apart as we have over the last 6 years or so. Yeah, that's it.